Hey, Charles Hoffman here from Plugin Alliance. SPL's Vitalizer Mk3-T is a unique type of program equalizer that's designed to add clarity, depth, and loudness to your mixes. It combines low-end tone shaping, bass compression, psychoacoustic equalization based on equal loudness contours, and stereo expansion. By shifting the timing of louder frequencies, it reduces masking so that subtle details like transients and quieter instruments become more audible. The result is a mix that feels louder, more balanced, and more open, without harsh boosts or unnecessary level increases. As the successor to SPL's Vitalizer Mk2-T, this version introduces some new features. The Mk3-T trades the classic gold faceplate for the new black SPL Studio Series design. Its higher ±18 internal audio voltage delivers more headroom, resulting in a cleaner, more detailed sound where subtle transients and low-level elements remain intact. There's a scalable UI and additional plugin-only features like a bass split function that lets you apply soft bass and tight bass processing in serial. You also have input and output meters, tolerance modeling technology, a phase correlation and left-right balance meter, headroom control, mono maker, an automatic interval bypass function, and output gain knob.
I got that bling bling, I'm getting nicey. I only got nice things. Not that every day I couldn't go to water. Time I got to go down it. I go solo with that bling. I don't need that diamond ring.
To demo SPL's Vitalizer Mk3-T, start a free Plugin Alliance subscription trial using the link below. This will give you access to all Plugin Alliance's products for 30 days. Drive sets the level of the signal going into the plugin's filter network. A lot of the processing that takes place within this plugin occurs in parallel, split between a low band, mid-high band, and high band. Various forms of processing are applied to those filtered signals, which are then summed together with the dry signal at the output. Turning up the drive pushes the audio harder into the circuit, changing how the following stages react and increasing the impact that each feature has on the sound. If the drive is too low, the following effects may not be as noticeable and present as you want them to be. This LED indicates when the input's too hot, helping you avoid unwanted distortion. The bass sound knob controls the character of the low end, letting you choose between soft and warm or dry and percussive. These circle and square icons visually represent the tone of the resulting sound. Soft provides lows that are fuller, warmer, and more extended, adding weight to mixes that feel thin. Tight delivers a punchier and more controlled sound, which is especially useful for dense mixes where the low end can get muddy. Bass comp is a low-frequency compressor. It tames dynamic peaks in the low end, which is important because in addition to altering the character of your low end, the bass sound knob will make your low end louder. You'll use the bass comp knob to account for those level differences in a way that sounds musical. You can use this to smooth out uneven bass notes and tighten kick drums without flattening the overall energy of your mix. Mid-high tune sets the cutoff frequency of a broadband shelving filter. All frequencies above the selected value will get boosted, while frequencies just below the cutoff get attenuated. This is not a static filter. It interacts with the plugin's filter network and affects frequency and phase response primarily in the area you're targeting, but also below that. As a result, you should listen to your mix as a whole when you adjust this knob. The hardware unit features a Sovtech 12AX7 double triode tube in the mid-high tune filter, which provides your mid-highs with a soft and silky sound. You can use this knob to add presence to vocals and guitars or air to cymbals. A lot of the clarity that the Vitalizer adds to a mix comes from here.
I got that bling bling. I'm getting nicey. I only got nice things. Not in every day. I couldn't go to water. I got to go down it. I go solo with that bling. I don't need that diamond ring.
The process knob determines the ratio between bass sound and mid-high tune in relation to the original dry signal running through the plugin. Higher process settings increase the intensity of the effect generated by the bass sound and mid-high tune filters. On top of that, the more you turn up the process knob, the more it dampens dominant mid-frequencies below the mid-high tune cutoff frequency.
I got that bling bling. I'm getting nicey. I only got nice things. Not in every day. I couldn't go to water. I got to go down it. I go solo with that bling. I don't need that diamond ring.
LCEQ is a high-frequency shelving filter that primarily boosts frequencies between 2 kHz and 20 kHz, depending on the value you've selected. It also adds a significant cut to frequencies between 500 and 2000 Hz. As you turn up the knob, the cutoff moves up the frequency spectrum. This is another parallel effect, and the more you turn up the intensity knob, the more of this effect you'll hear.
I got that bling bling. I'm getting nicey. I only got nice things. Not in every day. I couldn't go to water. I got to go down it. I go solo with that bling. I don't need that diamond ring.
The stereo expander increases the perceived width of the stereo image. There's another triode tube used in the stereo expander that produces a greater range of low-end frequencies, helps define spacing of reverb, and softens high-frequency content.
I got that bling bling. I'm getting nicey. I only got nice things. Not in every day. I couldn't go to water. I got to go down it. I go solo with that bling. I don't need that diamond ring.
If you click on this rectangle icon in the top right corner, additional plugin-only controls appear. On the sides, you have an input meter and an output meter. Some Vitalizer users have found a need to apply soft bass and tight bass processing in a single chain. With hardware units, you can achieve this by adjusting the soft bass with one Vitalizer, and then running the output signal through a second Vitalizer, where you can adjust the tight bass and other settings. In the plugin, you can achieve a similar effect by enabling the split bass feature. First, the signal gets processed using the soft bass knob, acting like the first Vitalizer in your chain. After that, the signal runs through the top rack unit, acting like a second Vitalizer. TMT, or tolerance modeling technology, simulates the small variations in component tolerances found in hardware. If you do a side-by-side comparison of two hardware units, they're not going to sound exactly the same, and that's partly a result of these differences between component tolerances. By cycling through these TMT channels or randomizing them, it's like swapping between hardware Vitalizers. If you load a Vitalizer onto different tracks, using different TMT channels can gently enhance the depth and width of your overall mix, similar to mixing with analog gear. If you're using the Vitalizer for mastering purposes, phase coherence might be important to you. In this case, you can use digital mode, applying the same TMT parameters to both the left and right channels. The correlation meter shows phase correlation between left and right channels, ensuring that when you sum your mix to mono, you don't lose punch and impact. The balance meter shows whether the stereo image is weighted more toward the left or right, helping you keep the mix centered. Headroom adjusts the volume before processing is applied, and adds inverted gain to the output signal. This feature lets you adjust the level of audio material to work with different presets. The mono maker folds frequencies below the cutoff into mono. This makes sure that low-end content like kick drums and sub bass remain tight and centered in the mix, avoiding phase issues and improving translation on club systems or small speakers. Interval is an auto bypass feature that lets you hear the plugin's processing engaged and bypassed in intervals. All the way to the left, the interval will be 1 second, and to the right, it's 11 seconds. This switch toggles the feature on and off. The output knob lets you make adjustments to the plugin's output level. Up top, there's a bypass switch and UI scaling feature. You have an undo and redo button. There are 4 parameter banks labeled A, B, C, and D. You can copy the parameters from one bank to another, experiment with different settings, and swap back to the original bank without losing your work. It's also possible to reset each bank. Clicking on Mk3-T swaps the user interface and the internal processing of the plugin to behave like the Mk3-T's predecessor. To demo SPL's Vitalizer Mk3-T, start a free Plugin Alliance subscription trial using the link below. If this video helped you out, give it a like and subscribe to the Plugin Alliance YouTube channel for more plugin walkthroughs like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.